everyone, my name is Marie. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I'm back in San Myshuno and I'm renovating an apartment, and this is the 2B Jasmine Suites apartment. And I was just really in the mood to sit down and build a cute, cozy family apartment. So that is exactly what I did. And the Spice District is definitely my favorite area to build family-oriented apartments. I think that's what the area is meant for. We have the Culpeper apartments up in this area, as well as the Jasmine Suites apartments, and they are just very good for family-oriented, cozy, wholesome apartments. So that is what I decided to do for this one as well. And I mean, I have renovated this specific apartment a couple times. I just always really enjoy it so much. And this floor plan is something I don't think I have done before. Probably something similar though, but not this exact floor plan, I don't think. I really like it though. It is a pretty small apartment and I furnished it for a family of 5 Sims. So 2 parents, 2 kids, and 1 teenager. And that's the type of family that I furnished it for. And so, yeah, it's pretty cramped for this many Sims, especially when you have 2 kids and a teenager. Like, they're bound to get into little fights and stuff. They also have to share a bathroom with the 3 of them. They have to share the whole bathroom, and then the parents have a teeny tiny little ensuite, which is nice. It gives them a little bit of privacy. So yeah, they have a teeny tiny little ensuite, which is nice. But then, like I said, the kids do have to share this whole bathroom with the 3 of them. So I feel like that is, yeah, bound to create some issues from time to time. But I love that. I mean, that's not something that actually happens in The Sims. Your Sims can fight, obviously, but not over bathroom usage, if you want to call it that. Like, that is not something that actually happens. But I love to think about these tiny little details whenever I am furnishing something for a family or building something for a family. So yeah, the floor plan is pretty much already finished, obviously, because we're already furnishing. But I will give you a closer look of the floor plan after the speed build portion of the video, when I give you a little tour of the build. But basically, we have a little entryway, and then we have a glass sliding door leading into the kitchen, and then we have a glass sliding door from the kitchen leading into the living area / dining area. So yeah, those are the common areas of the house, if you will. We also have a little study / skill building room off of the entryway as well, and that one leads into the bedrooms. So I feel like, I don't know if this floor plan makes a whole lot of sense in real life, but for The Sims and for this specific apartment, I feel like it works, because I was struggling with it for the longest time. I was set on having 3 bedrooms for this build. I really wanted to make that happen, but for some reason I was struggling with that a lot today. So I sat down and it took me, I think, about 30 minutes to figure out what I wanted to do floor plan wise, and this is what I came up with. So yeah, we have a nice skill building room, which is nice for a larger family. Well, it's not necessarily a larger family. It's a family of 5, so I feel like it's a pretty basic family in that sense. But for a pretty small apartment like this, I feel like 5 Sims is still going to be pretty cramped. But yeah, it is nice to have like a little skill building area with a desk and a computer and like an easel, and I think I placed a guitar in there as well, so that is nice. But yeah, the kitchen is definitely my favorite area of this build. I use a lot of Parenthood for this build, which is usually what I do whenever I build cozy, family-oriented apartments like this one. I usually end up using a lot of Parenthood, because that is just the pack that goes nicely with this vibe, with this whole like style. But yeah, I also use a lot of Parenthood in the living area this time. And I don't always do that because I don't necessarily, well, I mean, I love the couches from Parenthood, and then especially the 3-seater one. I really like that one, but it's definitely been a while since I've used it. So yeah, I used that one for this build, and it was just a nice, I don't know, little change of pace, I guess. I mean, I have used it before, but it was just nice to use it again. And then I also placed a little fireplace in the living room as well, one from Parenthood, as you can see. So that is really nice. And then I did want to give the apartment a slightly updated look and feel. It's not necessarily very modern, and it's also pretty mismatched here and there. I mean, everything looks good together, and I feel like everything flows together quite nicely, but it's definitely a little bit mismatched here and there. Like the wood tones, for example, don't all match. The colors don't all match. But that is just bound to happen when you have a family home, like a family apartment like this that is pretty cramped. Yeah, it's bound to become a little bit messy and mismatched. So that is kind of the look and feel that I was trying to achieve without it being too overwhelmingly colorful and too, like, I don't know, busy to look at. I guess that is not something I wanted to do. And I also didn't want there to be any routing issues, because it was very important to me that this apartment would be nice for actual family gameplay. So I play tested it and everything should work just fine. And it's not too cluttered where it causes any routing issues, but I feel like it still looks very, very lived in. So yeah, here for the living room, you can see that I placed a couch and a fireplace and a TV and an additional little chair. And then we have the dining table in here as well with 5 chairs around it. So perfect for a 5-sim family. They can't really have anyone over for dinner. I mean, in the game, you obviously can, because they will just sit wherever. And we also have a few island counters in the kitchen with some bar stools, so that is some additional seating as well. But you can't really have a large, like, extended family dinner for Christmas where everyone comes over and sits at the table, because we only have 5 chairs, so that is just not going to work. But I don't know, for this family, for this apartment, I feel like it worked out just fine. And then I created this little makeshift window seat, if you will, because we do have this weirdly shaped little area in this apartment where this time I wasn't quite sure what to do with it. But yeah, I just placed a little window seat with some additional cushions and some magazines and just some knickknacks. And I just thought it was a very nice and relaxing little spot where you can just sit down and read a book or something. I just really liked that idea. I thought that that was really cute. And then I placed a couple of paintings on the wall as well, as you can see. And then I went back to the rest of the living room to just clutter it up, because I did place down the larger furniture pieces, if you will, at first, and then I went back in to clutter it up. I did that with the coffee table as well, and then also here with the dining table, as you can see. So I just placed a couple of knickknacks on the table, and yeah, I don't know, furnishing this apartment, I really feel like playing or doing some family-oriented, cute gameplay. So yeah, I don't know, this apartment just really got me inspired to do something like that again. I don't really have time for it, so I probably won't, other than playing with my legacy family that I also do here on Twitch, like a little short lifespan legacy challenge. I do that here on Twitch, no, on YouTube. So I will link that one or that playlist down below if you're not aware. It's a really fun family-oriented little Let's Play on short lifespan, so quite chaotic from time to time as well, but I really enjoy that. So yeah, but for this specific family, for this storyline, I didn't really have anything very specific other than we have 2 parents and they have a teenager as well as a set of twins who are children. They are a little bit younger than the teenager. So I feel like this is one of those families where they were like, we have 1 kid and we really want to go for 2 kids. So let's try and get pregnant again. And then they had twins, which they did not anticipate. They did not think that would happen, but then they had twins, so they had to go with that. And that is why their apartment is a little bit cramped, because they weren't actually prepared to have twins in this small little house. They were planning on having 2 kids, but now they have 3, which is a little bit chaotic for them. And I mean, in real life, you could probably move, or maybe you couldn't, I don't know. But I just felt like this family, they didn't move. They weren't planning on moving for one reason or another. Like, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that is just kind of what I was thinking storyline wise. But for the parents, I don't know what sort of jobs, like they definitely do have jobs, but I don't really know what type of jobs they would have. Like, I don't really know. Could be anything really, but I feel like they do not necessarily work from home, because they don't have, well, they have a little bit of a, I don't know, office space, if you will, like skill building room, but it is sort of in the middle of the house. It is also kind of like a hallway, so I feel like that is not a good spot to sit down and get some work done. If you have to sit there like literally the whole day. That room also does not have a window, so it's probably not very healthy to sit there all day. So yeah, I do feel like the parents do have a job that, or do have jobs that requires them to go into either an office or a different workspace. Maybe they are a teacher. Maybe one of them is a teacher, or maybe one of them is like a doctor. I don't really know, but something that requires them to leave the house, basically. So that is what the parents probably do. And then we have the twins. Obviously, they are just kids. They are into anything. Their bedroom is very small, so I didn't have a lot of space to really expand their personalities or their interests. I just gave them the necessary gameplay items, toy-wise. So I gave them some toys, as many as I could fit in there. And then for the teen, the same thing. The teenager's bedroom is very, very small and very cramped. And I did want to make sure to give them their own desk, because they are a teenager and they probably want to have like a place where they can sit down, focus on their homework, on their schoolwork, without being disturbed by their little siblings or their parents. So yeah, their bedroom is very small. They literally have a bed, a desk, and a wardrobe, and that's it. And then the kids, they have bunk beds, obviously, and then they also have just some toys in there. So that is nice. But here you can see we have the little skill building room. It's nothing special, but I do really like it. We have an additional bookcase in here. I also placed down a guitar, which I don't always do, but it is a nice skill building item to have. And maybe one of the parents or the teenager is into playing the guitar. I thought that that would be cute. And then I also placed an easel in here. So I was definitely imagining that one of the Sims in this household, probably one of the parents, really enjoys painting in their free time. So yeah, that is what I gave them. And then here you can see I'm getting started on the parents' bedroom. The parents' bedroom is quite small and cramped as well. It's not as small as the other two bedrooms. I think it's a little bit bigger than the kids' bedroom, like 2 tiles bigger than the twins' bedroom. So it's definitely still not that big. But I obviously did have the space for a double bed and a couple nightstands in here, and they have a nice wardrobe as well. And then I used this bedroom set, or not a set, I actually used just a bed from Cats and Dogs, and I never use it in this swatch with this bedding, but I love this bedding for some reason in here. It looks very playful. It's a nice little pattern that doesn't necessarily go with the rest of the color scheme, so I just really like that idea. It was quite realistic in my opinion, so that's why I really enjoyed using it in here. And then as you can see, for the hall bathroom, I also place laundry machines. So that means we have laundry for this apartment, which is very realistic for a family-oriented apartment, I feel like. So I enjoyed placing those, but that also means that you have to place enough hampers so that your Sims don't actually just throw their clothes on the floor and create a whole mess. I did actually only have room for literally 2 hampers. We have a hamper in the parents' bedroom, and then I also ended up placing an additional one in the skill building room, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but I did not have the space for hampers in the kids' bedrooms. So yeah, I just did what I could to make it functional. So obviously the parents have a hamper, and then I placed an additional one in the skill building room, like I just said. But here you can see we have the kids' bedroom. I love how this one came together. It was flowing together quite naturally. It is very, very small, as you can see, but I did have the space to give them a Blarfy, a toy box, as well as an activity table. So I feel like that is really nice. And then they also have a nice shared dresser in there with some pictures on it, which I always think is really cute. And then the color scheme in here, once again, is definitely a little bit mismatched, but that is why I love it so much. It just feels very realistic to me. They probably had this like wallpaper ever since they were born, like when they were little toddlers, they got this wallpaper, or maybe even like literally before they were born. And I just never bothered to swap out the wallpaper or paint the walls or what have you. So that is why the rest of the room doesn't necessarily match the wallpaper anymore, but I just feel like that is really cute. And then here you can see we have the the teenager's bedroom. This one is quite colorful and once again, also a little bit mismatched, which is what I really love. And then I gave them a desk from university. I feel like they are probably about like 15 years old or so. And then the kids are probably about like 7 or 8 years old, something like that. So yeah, the teen has their own, it's very small, but they do have their own bedroom, which is really nice for them. They have a desk, and I just placed a couple of colorful knickknacks on the wall because I didn't really have a whole lot of space to place any other like decorations on the floor or anything. So I just had to do what I could like with the wall space really. So I just placed some decorations on the walls and make it look cute. Obviously, when you're playing with the walls down or half down, you don't really see it anymore, but I still like to place it there anyway. And yeah, they have their own desk with their own little laptop that they probably need for school. And then I just cluttered up their desk with a whole bunch of knickknacks. They have some books and some hair products and also some magazines and stuff. They don't really have a vanity, so they do need to place their hair products and like nail polish and stuff somewhere as well. So I just placed that on the desk for them. I thought that was quite realistic. I mean, where else are you gonna put it really in a room this small? So yeah, it's a very small bedroom, but I do really, really like it. I think it's my favorite room of the house. Well, no, actually the kitchen is my favorite room, but I think the teenager's bedroom is my favorite bedroom. I don't know, teenagers' bedrooms are just my favorite bedrooms to decorate for some reason. I don't know why that is. I don't know, but I just really like it because I can just kind of go crazy with colors and just make it all cute and mismatched and cluttered and a little bit messy. I just really like that. And then the parents, as you can see, they have this teeny tiny little ensuite that I did have to shuffle around the furniture in a little bit because it was causing some routing issues. I just ended up placing the toilet a little bit closer to the wall, and then your sim will be able to get to the shower. So that is what I did, and I still need to place it on the gallery actually. So let's jump right into the game and I'll show you the apartment in real time and put it on the gallery. So here we have the apartment in the game. Just to give you a little bit of a better overview of the floor plan. So here we have the entryway, as you can see, and then this is like the main area of the apartment, and then this side has the bedrooms and this little skill building room. But yeah, when we first walk into the apartment, we have this little hallway. It's really small, but we have a nice dresser in here, very cluttered, and then just some random shoes everywhere, and this curfew board from Parenthood, which is a really fun family-oriented gameplay item in my opinion. And then off of the entryway, we have the hall bath / laundry room as well. Very easy, but nicely decorated in my opinion. And then over here, we have a sliding glass door, as you can see, and that one leads us right into the kitchen, which is my favorite room of the house. I just love how cluttered it is, and I love this swatch of these counters with this like orangey fridge. I just really like it. So we have a tea maker over here and then the stove, as you can see. And yeah, this countertop is free of clutter. So this is the one that your Sims can actually use. And then we have a couple of island counters over here as well. And then on this side, just some decorations. And then through this sliding door, we enter into the dining / living area. So it's kind of mismatched in here, and it definitely has some splashes of color here and there, which I really like. So over here we have the seating area with a nice couch and a chair in the corner, a TV and a gaming console as well, and then a cluttered coffee table. And then back here we have the dining table and a bookcase, which I don't think that bookcase is actually accessible. I think the chairs are too close to it, but we do have an accessible bookcase in the skill building room, so that is nice. And then we have this makeshift little window seat over here with some pillows and then some toys in the corner, just quite cluttered and realistic in my opinion. Then over here on the other side of the apartment, we have this office space with a desk with a whole bunch of knickknacks on it, and then we have an accessible bookcase in here, as you can see, and an easel in the corner and a hamper because, like I already explained, this is literally the only place where I had the space for it, so that's where I put it. And then over here I just placed a little guitar, which I thought was really cute. And then right here we have the kids' bedroom. This one is quite colorful and mismatched, which is why I love it so much. We have the bunk beds in here and then a couple of toys, as well as a crafting table, which is a really nice skill building item for kids in my opinion. And then next to the kids' bedroom, we have the parents' bedroom with the ensuite. It's quite simply decorated, but I just really like it. I love how this bedding is kind of mismatched. It doesn't really go with anything, but that is why I love it so much. They do have a hamper in here, and then they have their wardrobe and a little chair over here as well. And then a teeny tiny little ensuite that I was playtesting, as you can see, but this way it's all functional. And then last but not least, we have the teenager's bedroom. Very, very small, but everything is actually functional. So we have their desk over here with a whole bunch of clutter and some wall decorations as well. And then over here they have their bed, their wardrobe over here on this side, and yeah, just some additional decorations. But that is basically it for this apartment. So I just put this cozy family apartment up on the gallery as has a living room. It goes into 2B Jasmine Suites in San Myshuno. So if you want to place it in your game, then that's where it goes. And it comes in at just over 66,000 simoleons. So with apartments, you have to upload them to the gallery as rooms, which means that I did need to delete a couple of the walls, but the missing walls are very easy to spot once you place it down. You can just draw the walls back and then you should be fine. Just make sure to enable BB.move objects, but do that before you place it actually, just so that you won't run into any issues, and then you should be just fine. But that is actually it for this build. So I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download it off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmarysims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!